Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Respected Dr. Upinder Dhar, the Vice Chancellor of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore, all the respected other professors and dear students. I'm extremely happy to meet all of you this afternoon, though not actually, but virtually at least, on this great day celebration, that is National Youth Day celebration. Though Swami Vivekananda was born on 12 January 1863, just now as you heard, but the day on which he was born was Makar Sankranti. And today is Makar Sankranti, so today is also we can celebrate the birthday of Swami Vivekananda. Of course, even otherwise, the government of India declared Swami Vivekananda's birthday as National Youth Day. At that time, they declared the whole week from 12 to 19 as the National Youth Week. And so the celebration goes on during the week, and we are celebrating during the week. Plus, it is Makar Sankranti, the day on which Swami Vivekananda was born. So we are very much justified. In fact, when we asked Dr. Kalam whether his National Day should be celebrated on 12 January or not, he said his birthday should be celebrated every day. Because his message is so relevant that every day we need to be remembered. We need to be reminded about that message. Anyway, I'm extremely thankful to the University, Vishwavidyalaya, for having invited me, giving me this opportunity. And I congratulate the university for organizing this National Youth Day celebration. You know, today, when we are celebrating the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, naturally, we think we must give some birthday gift to Swami Vivekananda. So what gift can we give to Swami Vivekananda? I think we should give a gift which will be liked by him, which will be relished by him. So what is the gift that he will relish? Miss MacLeod, his American disciple, once asked Swami Vivekananda, Swami, how can I serve you? And then he said, love India. He did not say, give me a cake, beautiful cake or clothes or chocolate. No. Love India. That is all that he wants from us today. And I think if today Swami Vivekananda had been alive, enough of our youth would have asked him, Swami, how can I serve you? Swamiji, how can we serve you? How can we celebrate your birthday? What gift we can give to you on this birthday? What birthday gift would you like to have? And Swamiji would have told the same thing. Love India. Love India means loving the countrymen, loving the poor people of India, loving the downtrodden people of India, and serving them. Not only loving them, serving them. So Swami Vivekananda had given a message at that time, which is very relevant today. At that time he said, you have been hearing the mantras, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. I am now giving you some additional mantras which are more relevant today. What are that? Daridra Devo Bhava, Rogi Devo Bhava. Worship the God in the form of poor. Worship the God in the form of distressed. Worship the God coming in the form of patient. They are all suffering. Try to serve them. That is real spirituality. That is real religion. And that's how he started Ramakrishna Mission for serving humanity, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality in 1897. So loving India means loving the countrymen and serving them. And how this love will come? This love will come, love for our motherland will come when we read the books of Swami Vivekananda. Automatically it will come. You cannot but remain without being affected by the love that Swami Vivekananda had for his country, for his motherland. You cannot but be influenced. Mahatma Gandhi, when he came to Belumat, our headquarters of Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, as you know, there are 225 branch centers spread all over the world with the headquarters at Belumat. So when Mahatma Gandhi came there on 30th January 1921, then they said, Gandhiji, please give lecture. Gandhiji said, I have not come here to give lecture. I have come here to pay my homage to Swami Vivekananda. And then he told, I will tell the youngsters only one thing. When you come to this great place, do not go empty-handed. Take some of the great inspiration from here. And then Gandhiji said, please read the books of Swami Vivekananda. I have myself gone through the books of Swami Vivekananda, and the love that I had for my country became 1,000-fold. He had already some love for the country, Gandhiji, but he says his love became 1,000-fold just by reading the books of Swami Vivekananda. There was a boy studying in Cuttack High School in 9th standard, and he came across a small book of Swami Vivekananda, and he was so much inspired that he immediately decided to sacrifice his whole life for the sake of motherland. Later on, he became Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. All our great people, all our nationalists, all our national leaders, all our revolutionaries, all the patriots, they all derived their inspiration from the books of Swami Vivekananda. Dr. Radhakrishnan said, when we used to write letters to our friends, we used to quote the letters of Swami Vivekananda. Why? Because at that time, it was considered dangerous to exchange the books of Swami Vivekananda. In fact, the latest discovery says the intelligence department had written to the British government to proscribe the books of Swami Vivekananda because they said it is very dangerous. Whenever we go to the revolutionaries' houses, sometimes we get the bombs, sometimes we do not get. But one bomb we give it everywhere, and that is the book of Swami Vivekananda. Very dangerous. So this must be proscribed. So Dr. Radhakrishnan says, when we used to exchange our letters with our friends, we used to quote the letters of Swami Vivekananda within that. All our great people of that time, they were inspired by the books of Swami Vivekananda and developed so much of love for the nation about which we are talking. Mahatma Gandhi, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Chakravarti Rajgopalacharya, Sri Aurobindo, and they sacrificed their lives for serving the society, for serving the nation. And they fulfilled the first dream of Swami Vivekananda. What was that? The independence of the nation. In fact, in 1897, just as now you heard, Honorable Vice Chancellor was telling how Swami Vivekananda conquered the world by his very, very inspiring speech at the Parliaments of World's Religions in Chicago on 11th September. That was also 9/11, mind you. 11th September. In America, you know, they do not like that. They first of all write the month and then they write the date. We write first date, then month. So for them, it was, though it was 11th September 1893, it was 9/11/1893. And we did not listen to his message of harmony of religions, of saying goodbye to all sorts of fanaticism. So there was another 9/11, exactly after 108 years, and the World Trade Center, they got smashed because we did not listen to his message of universal brotherhood, of harmony of religions. So after that, for 3.5 years, he remained there, distributing the nectar of Vedanta, talking on Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, and all that. 1897, when he returned to India, he was given a warm welcome. First, he landed in Colombo. That time it was in India, as you know. It was 1897, before independence. So he landed in Colombo. From Colombo, he went to Rameshwaram, Ramnath, Madras, now Chennai, Calcutta, and then finally to Almora in Himalayas. And wherever he went, Everywhere he was given warm reception, as if he has conquered the world. The type of reception that he received was the reception that is normally given to a world conqueror. And really, he had conquered the world. He had changed the whole scenario. Whole scenario he had changed. When he delivered the speech at Parliament of Religions on 11 September 1893, at that time the whole world was looking down upon India, taking it to be one of the most savage country, uncivilized, uncultured, and illiterate and poor and all that. But when Swami Vivekananda stood up and just delivered his speech for 5 minutes. In fact, he was given 5 minutes, 2 minutes went while clapping. Because the moment he said, sisters and brothers of America, all people just stood up and they went on clapping for 2 minutes, standing ovation for 2 minutes. So now left 3 minutes. Within these 3 minutes, he conquered. Within 3 minutes, he set the world record. Within 3 minutes, even now today, that 3 minute speech is considered one of the best speeches ever given by anybody in the whole world history. Even today, whenever there are 100 speeches of the world, historical speeches, that this speech of Chicago speech is always included. But why it so happened? Because within that short speech, he had given the solution to the problems that we are going to face in future. He had given that solution. And not only that, he removed that misconception, so that the next day newspapers were full of praise for Swami Vivekananda. And the New York Herald wrote, so many great people have come from all over the world, but the greatest figure, undoubtedly, in the Parliament of World Religions is Swami Vivekananda. And second sentence is more important. After listening to him, we feel how foolish our part to send missionaries to India. Their religion is so great, rather we should invite missionaries from India. The whole table turned. So he had, as it were, conquered the world. He had, as it were, told the whole world how great is the Indian spiritual culture, the ancient Indian culture. So when he returned, he was given a welcome that is befitting to a world conqueror. And in reply to that, all that welcome, the speeches that he delivered, very fiery speeches, very inspiring speeches, full of fire. All these speeches have been compiled under the book Lectures from Colombo to Almora. Another version has come out, My India, the India Eternal. Some of the lectures have been compiled. Of course, everything is there in the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, 9 volumes, which are available on internet free of cost. You can download. These lectures are very, very important. And through these lectures, he aroused the country. The country, our motherland, was sleeping. Hundreds of years of slavery, sleep of hundreds of years of slavery. And Swami Vivekananda gave the message, Uttisthata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And the whole country got awakened. And all these youngsters whom I mentioned, they came, the revolutionaries came, the patriots came, and they worked hard, and we achieved independence. And he had already prophesied, though he was not an astrologer, but whatever he said came true. In 1897, he had told India will become independent within 50 years in an unimaginable way without waging a war. 1897. Gandhiji returned from South Africa 1915, then started non-cooperation movement. Nobody ever imagined that a country could become independent without waging a war. But it really happened. But another thing that he said is yet to come true. Swami Vivekananda said in his lecture in Madras, India shall conquer the world by its spirituality. Up India and conquer the world by spirituality. So he was not satisfied with only first dream. He said the goal is conquer the whole world by spirituality, not by atom bomb, but by spirituality. That means let there be universal brotherhood, let there be non-violence, Let there be the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the true global spirit in the globalized world. This was a dream that remains to be still actualized. First dream of Swami Vivekananda has been already accomplished by the youngsters of that time. Now the second dream of Swami Vivekananda will have to be actualized by the present youth. Swami Vivekananda said, my faith is in the younger generation. It is they who will work out my plans and programs, and they will work like lions and fulfill my dreams. This is yet to happen. His dream was not only independence of India. Of course, he said liberty is the first condition of growth, but that was not the ultimate aim of his life. That was not the ultimate aim that he had put forward. At that, the youngsters at those times, they fulfilled his first dream, independence of India. But what happened after independence? After independence, we forgot the message of Swami Vivekananda. And we went to sleep. We became selfish. We gave up the idea of sacrificing for the nation. We gave up the idea of loving the country, loving the countrymen, and we went to sleep. Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. He did not say, arise, awake, and go to sleep after independence. We did the same thing. We got aroused, we got awakened, and then went to sleep. No, we have to still remember the formula. We have to still remember the message. What is that? Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And what is the goal? The goal is that India will become Vishwaguru. India will conquer the whole world by its spirit of universal brotherhood, of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, of non-violence. These ideas of harmony of religions will spread, and let there be peace, world peace, universal brotherhood. These are the ideas of Indian spiritual culture. This will have to be spread. As long as it has not been done, we will have to go on working, go forward, march forward. This is the great message of Swami Vivekananda, which still needs to be actualized. And Swami Vivekananda said, my faith is in the younger generation. So my dear young friends, I would request you to go through the books of Swami Vivekananda. The first thing that will happen is you will start loving the country, loving the motherland, and try to think of serving the society, serving the motherland, serving the nation. And second thing that will happen is that you will now think how to fulfill the dream of Swami Vivekananda of Indian spiritual culture being spread all over the world. First of all, our youngsters must stop imitating Western materialistic culture. Swami Vivekananda said, we want to be open. Western science coupled with Vedanta, that is the solution for India's growth. But he was against blind imitation of Western materialistic culture. He said, we'll have the best of the East and the best of the West. That will be the great global spiritual culture that will come, and that is to come through all over the world. So he had very revolutionary ideas, very positive ideas for a very bright future for not only India, but for the whole world. This has to be actualized by the modern youth today. How it can be done? This can be done, first of all, we will have to think about the rebuilding of the nation. Unless until rebuilding of the nation takes place, we cannot become world conqueror. We cannot become Vishwaguru. Unless until we become a developed country, unless until we ourselves develop, we will not be able to become a Vishwaguru. We will not get the credibility of serving or of preaching our message. So first thing is rebuilding the nation. But how rebuilding of the nation can come? Dr. Radhakrishnan says a nation cannot be rebuilt by bricks and mortar. No, it can be done only through character building. And Swami Vivekananda also said, national building cannot take place without character building of the citizens. And that is why, my dear young friends, I will tell you, you must go for career development. It is a must. That is the need of the hour. But along with that, there should be character development. If you really want long-term happiness in your life, long-term peace in your life, if you want real success, then you must adopt not only career development, along with that, character development. Dr. Kalam had come to Porbandar, just now as you heard, for inaugurating Vivekananda Institute of Value Education and Culture on 12th of January 2006. That was National Youth Day. We are talking about National Youth Day. That was the National Youth Day. He inaugurated the institute, And then he delivered a very inspiring lecture and said how Swami Vivekananda, in his lecture, he said how Swami Vivekananda inspired Jamshedji Tata while both of them were traveling together from Yokohama to Canada in the same ship, that is Empress of India, Vancouver. So from Yokohama to Vancouver, they were together in the ship Empress of India. And that time, Swami Vivekananda inspired Jamshedji Tata to start Indian Institute of Science. Afterwards, Jamshedji Tata wrote a letter on 23rd November 1898 requesting him to become the general of the campaign for starting this institute. All these things he told, and then he replied to a few questions. A young man stood up and said, "Sir, Operation Duryodhan, Operation Chakravyuh, and other operations have revealed the tip of the iceberg, that is rampant corruption in the country today. As the President of India, how do you think about it? And where do you think lies the solution?" So Dr. Kalam stood up and said, the parliament has already taken some action on those MPs. And then he read out a passage from the book of Swami Vivekananda, where Swami Vivekananda says, no number of parliament acts can make a nation good, can make a nation great. Then what can make a nation good and what can make a nation great? Then again he read out, only a large number of good enlightened citizens can make a nation good, can make a nation great. And then he said, he's a very simple man, very simple. He said, and the government cannot produce good people, and the government will not produce good people. Then who can do it? He said, only three persons can do it. Who are they? Father, mother, and the teacher. These are the three persons can bring about this character building of the citizens. So value education is a must. We will have to have value education. And I'm very happy to know that this Vishwavidyalaya, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya is emphasizing on the values of life among the cities, among the students, which is very commendable. This is a must. Character building only will lead to rebuilding, and that will lead to the fulfillment of the dream of Swami Vivekananda. Now, how to do the character building? When we talk about character building, it is total personality development, not only one part of the personality, total personality: physical, mental, intellectual, moral, and spiritual. If you want total personality development, you must have all the three: IQ, EQ, and SQ: intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, and spiritual quotient. Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She has written a book. The name of the book is SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically, from every point of view, there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. What is IQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? EQ will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. And what is SQ? SQ will tell you whether to play the game of life at all or not. That is your choice. What is the purpose of life? What is the aim of life? Why are we here on this earth? What do we want to achieve before we pass away? So that is SQ. Unfortunately, Dr. Dana Zohar says, unfortunately, we are living in a dumb society where we have least concerned about SQ, and that is why we are suffering. That is exactly why we are suffering. So we must develop SQ. Now, how to develop SQ? This development can take place by manifesting the divinity within. Swami Vivekananda gave the gist of Vedanta in his book on Raj Yoga, only one paragraph. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So these are the things that is necessary. You must manifest the divinity within by combining four yogas: Raj Yoga, meditation; Bhakti Yoga, prayer; Gyan Yoga, inspirational reading; and Karma Yoga, unselfish service. By combining all the four, we will develop SQ, and IQ, EQ, SQ will give you total personality development. Physical, mental, intellectual, moral, and spiritual development of the personality will take place. And for that, 5 virtues are necessary: self-confidence, self-reliance, self-knowledge, self-control, and self-sacrifice. If you have these 5 things, you will have long-term happiness, long-term peace, long-term success, leading to ultimately infinite existence, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, which is the goal, ultimate goal of each and every human being, of each and every student, of each and every human being. So this is the thing for which we have to do, and we have to work very hard. So my time is ending. I will end with uh, a small with a small request to the students. You know, Rabindranath Tagore, he was very much inspired by the books of Swami Vivekananda. He told Roma Rolla, is a French savant, Nobel Prize winner, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him, everything is positive, nothing negative. And when Roma Rolla read the books of Swami Vivekananda, he was so inspired that he wrote a book on Swami Vivekananda himself. And about the words of Swami Vivekananda, he says, his words are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven. I cannot touch these sayings of his scattered as they are through the pages at a 30th distance without receiving a thrill through my body like an electric shock. So, my dear young friends, at night when you go to, before you go to bed, you must recharge your mobile battery, put the plug onto the socket, but at the same time, you must recharge your mental battery. For what to do? Take up the book of Swami Vivekananda in your hand. By the time the mobile battery gets recharged, your mental battery will get recharged. I can assure you, the books of Swami Vivekananda will enable you to get long-term success, happiness, and peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji, for your great vision and inspirational words full of wisdom. A great scientist once said that the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason of existing. So I would like to request some curious minds in the audience that if you are having any question to Swamiji, then you may please ask. You can also write in question and answer session. I will read out for you. And I request if our panelists are having some questions, then they can unmute themselves and they can ask their question. Right now, I have received a question from one of our young faculty member. I will read out it for from Professor Seema Uike from our Journalism and Mass Communication Department. Swamiji, as a youth, I have faced so much difficulty in controlling my emotions, which directly or indirectly affect my work. So, how can I handle a stressful situation in my personal life that don't affect my work performance or my growth?
Very good question, and this is a common question. So I think every day, at least 5 minutes morning and 5 minutes evening, 2 times, you must meditate. And start with some very simple technique of meditation. Very simple technique. For example, I'll give you a simple technique. Take up the photograph of Swami Vivekananda or of Sri Ramakrishna or Sarada Devi or Mahavir or Buddha, whomsoever you like, whomsoever you love. Just keep a photograph on your table. Look at that photograph for 1 minute with open eyes. Then close eyes for 4 minutes, thinking about that photograph. This is all what you have to do. And in between, any number of thoughts, let them come. But you remain silent, let them come. Be a CID officer, not a police officer. Police officer, one does, themes come, then police officer starts chasing them. No. CID officer just watches where the thief is going, after this, where he is going. So you just go on watching your mind. At the same time, trying to meditate on the photograph that you have seen. Like that, if you go on doing about after 1 or 2 months, you will find your mind is calming down. Relaxation. This has been proved that relaxation technique gives you relaxation. Dr. Herbert Benson made a research on meditation for 25 years. He is associate professor of Harvard Medical School. After 25 years research, he published a book. The name of the book is The Relaxation Response. And there he says, by this regular meditation, the mind becomes relaxed. And not only that, even blood pressure goes down. Even if you've got high BP, that will also go down. And it will help you in controlling your emotions. Regular meditation, morning 5 minutes, evening 5 minutes.
Next question. If somebody's have any question, then please write in question and answer session.
Dr. Pragya Palod has write this question. Is it possible to find out short and simple story like literature on Swami Vivekananda's life for kids?
Yes, please repeat the question.
Okay. Is it possible to find out short and simple story like literature on Swami Vivekananda's life for kids?
Yes, yes. There are many books available. Even there are books available for children also. Children, the stories of Swami Vivekananda, stories on Swami Vivekananda, stories of Swami Vivekananda. And if you go to, supposing you go for higher level, there is a beautiful book, Swami Vivekananda, the Friend of All. Swami Vivekananda, small book, very small. Swami Vivekananda, the Friend of All. It contains inspiring incidents from his life. Just collection of inspiring incidents from his life. This is for the higher standard. For the lower standard, I mean for primary school students and the children, for the kids, for the children, they are available. It is available. Even the films are available. That is in some sort of animated books, animated films are also available for the children. Yeah.
Swamiji, namaskar.
Just a minute. Let me also tell you, there is our center is there in Kila Maidan. You will get all these books available there. There is a school also in Kila Maidan, Ramakrishna Ashram School, and Ramakrishna Ashram Kila Maidan near the airport. There is a beautiful ashrama. You will get all these books in the bookshop. Yeah.
Next question, please.
Swamiji, namaskar. मैं डॉक्टर नमन गुप्ता, डायरेक्टर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग. मेरा आपसे सवाल ये था कि जैसा हम आज के समय में देखते हैं, स्वामी जी हमेशा से जो है कर्म योगी रहे हैं और उनकी जो किताब है कर्म योग के ऊपर वो काफ़ी प्रसिद्ध भी रही है. यूथ आइकन रहे वो अपने समय में और आज भी है. पर एज अ टीचर, एक शिक्षक के रूप में मैं हमेशा आजकल ये परिवर्तन देखता हूँ कि हमारी जो नई जनरेशन है वो अपने राइट्स के प्रति तो काफ़ी सजग है, बट अपने कर्तव्यों के प्रति उसकी सजगता कम होती जा रही है. तो ऐसे में हम आपसे मार्गदर्शन चाहेंगे कि आप किस तरह से हम स्वामी जी की प्रीचिंग के माध्यम से बच्चों में, आजकल के यूथ में अपने कर्तव्यों के प्रति भी वो जागरूकता पैदा कर सकते हैं. स्वामी जी.
या बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न है. बात यह है कि अभी जो आज के यूथ है ना, उनको इंस्टेंट सक्सेस चाहिए. एक ही रात में करोड़पति बनना है, 2 रात में नहीं. Overnight they want to become Bill Gates. Overnight they want to become Ambani. Overnight they want success. वो किसी को मेहनत कुछ करना नहीं है. They do not want to know how much struggle has been undergone by Bill Gates or by Ambani. No, they just want success. They want money. They want overnight. They want to be billionaire or millionaire. But there is no such commitment towards working hard. And we have to work hard, we have to work smart also. Both ways we have to do. Now, this is the concept that has to be told, that Swami Vivekananda said that we will have to struggle in life. Without struggle, nothing can be achieved. In fact, some of the students, they complain to me, ये सब struggle मेरे नसीब में आ गया, मेरे भाग्य में आ गया, मैं इतना ये अनफॉर्चुनेट हूँ, इतना मेरे को परीक्षा ले रहा है, इतना सब मेरे प्रॉब्लम आ रहे हैं. तो मैं उनको बोलता हूं, अच्छा भैया सुनो, यू वांट टू बिकम ऑर्डिनरी और एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी? आई वांट टू बिकम एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी. ओके, देन लिसन टू द फॉर्मूला. ऑर्डिनरी पीपल हैव टू अंडरगो ऑर्डिनरी स्ट्रगल. Extraordinary people have to undergo extraordinary struggle. अब you decide you want to become ordinary, extraordinary. This is the message of Swami Vivekananda. Greater the struggle, the greater the person who comes out of it. In fact, life itself is struggle. महाराजा जो खेतड़ी के महाराजा अजीत सिंह जी उनके शिष्य थे, उन्होंने एक बार कहा, स्वामी जी व्हाट इज लाइफ? जीवन क्या है? स्वामी जी ने तुरंत उत्तर दिया, माय डियर प्रिंस, लाइफ इज नथिंग बट द स्ट्रगल ऑफ ए बीइंग अंडर द सर्कमस्टांसेस ट्राइंग टू प्रेस इट डाउन। जीवन का दूसरा नाम ही संघर्ष है, तो संघर्ष तो करना ही पड़ेगा। जितना ज्यादा संघर्ष होगा उतने आप बड़े होंगे। आप यदि बीए के आप ग्रेजुएशन के एग्जाम देंगे तो ग्रेजुएट का सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट के एग्जाम देंगे बहुत ज्यादा कठिन है तो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट का सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा। क्या सर्टिफिकेट आपको चाहिए? नहीं तो मैट्रिक का नॉन मैट्रिक होकर के आप करिए दूसरा काम काज, कोई बात नहीं, स्किल ओरिएंटेड में जाइए। यू सी व्हाट वी हैव टू पे द प्राइस, वी हैव टू पे द प्राइस। यदि आपको चाहिए अच्छी किताब, अच्छी चीज चाहिए, तो उसके लिए कीमत पूरी चुकानी होगी, और कीमत पूरी नहीं चुकाएंगे तो फिर डुप्लीकेट माल आएगा, फिर सिर पे हाथ रख करके रोने से कुछ नहीं होगा। सो दिस इज द थिंग वी हैव टू से, that you have to pay the price. If you really want long-term happiness and peace, you will have to work hard. You have to have commitment. Without commitment, nothing can happen. Yesterday, day before yesterday, 12 January, I had a dialogue with the IIT Gandhinagar people. They asked the questions about the secret of success. I said 5 formulas. That is concentration, confidence, commitment, courage, and communication. So commitment is a must. If you are not committed to your work, if you are not committed to your relatives, if you're not committed to your relations, then nobody will betray, nobody will believe you, nobody will have faith in you. So commitment to your work, commitment to your promises is a must. So this has to be told to the students.
Thank you, Swami.
Next question is from Professor Sudhanshu Dubey. Swami Vivekananda was not in favor of Murti Puja. Is it true? If yes, then what was the reason behind it?
Yeah, actually he was against Murti Puja when he was a student, because that time he was a member of Brahma Samaj. वो ब्राह्मण समाज है, उसमें वो मेंबर थे, और ब्राह्मण समाज के जो मेंबर बनते थे उनको रिटर्न में डिक्लेरेशन देना पड़ता था, मैं किसी की मूर्ति के सामने अपना सिर नहीं झुकाऊंगा। और इसीलिए जब श्री रामकृष्ण देव के पास आए तो श्री रामकृष्ण देव उनको बोलते थे माँ काली की मूर्ति के सामने जाकर के सिर झुकाने के लिए, बोले नहीं मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, मैं मेंबर हूँ ब्राह्मण समाज का, तो मैं प्रतिमा के सामने अपना सिर नहीं झुकाऊंगा। पर बाद में कुछ ऐसे सर्कमस्टांसेस हुए कि उनको माँ के पास जाना पड़ा, माँ काली के पास जाना पड़ा, माँ काली के वे बाद में भक्त बने, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ। और बाद में ऐसा हुआ कि जब वो उन्होंने एक संन्यास ले लिया, श्री रामकृष्ण देव की महासमाधि होगी 1886 में, फिर वह सारे देश के परिभ्रमण के लिए, बिफोर गोइंग टू अमेरिका, अमेरिका जाने के पहले, उसके दौरान वो राजस्थान में आए थे। तो राजस्थान में अलवर में जब आए तो अलवर के महाराजा थे मंगल सिंह जी। उन्होंने स्वामी जी को यही प्रश्न पूछा जो आप पूछ रहे हैं, क्या स्वामी जी आप मूर्ति पूजा में विश्वास करते हैं? मैं तो मूर्ति पूजा में बिल्कुल विश्वास नहीं करता, ये पत्थर की पूजा ये सब तो अंधविश्वास है, इसमें मैं विश्वास नहीं करता। स्वामी जी ने कहा दीवान जी को, दीवान जी ये किसका फोटोग्राफ है? पेंटिंग था उनका। बोले ये महाराज जी का पेंटिंग है, उनका चित्र है। बोले इसको नीचे उतारिए ना। नीचे उतारा गया। दीवान जी इस पर थूकिए। सारी सभा एकदम से चौंक गई, ये क्या कह रहा है? मंगल सिंह ने तुरंत तलवार निकाल ली और सारे लोग घबरा गए कि मैं अभी गया। उस समय 27 साल का ये लड़का, युवा सन्यासी, 27, ओनली 27 ईयर, और उसकी ये मजाल कि मंगल सिंह जैसे महाराजा, अलवर महाराजा को बोल दे, उनके सामने बोल दे दीवान जी को उसकी तस्वीर थूकने के लिए। सब लोग गया भी गया स्वामी जी। तो फिर तो ये तो इतने गर्म हो गए। फिर बाद में फिर दीवान जी ने कहा स्वामी जी आप ये क्या कह रहे हैं? ये हमारे महाराजा की तस्वीर है, इस पर आप थूकने के लिए कह रहे हैं? देखिए दीवान जी, मैं आपको महाराजा पर थूकने को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, महाराजा वहां बैठे हैं। मैं इस नीचे तस्वीर जो नीचे पड़ी हुई है उस पर थूकने का बोल रहा हूँ। महाराजा तो वहां है, मैं महाराजा पर थूकने को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं तस्वीर में थूकने का बोल रहा हूँ। इसमें तो कलर है, इसमें केवल कागज है, उसमें रंग है और कुछ नहीं है। हाँ, पर उसमें हम अपने महाराजा को देखते, उसमें हम नहीं थूक सकेंगे। फिर स्वामी जी का, देखिए महाराज, एक अर्थ में आप इस चित्र में नहीं है, इसमें केवल कागज और रंग है, पर एक अर्थ में आप यहाँ है, क्योंकि ये आपको उसमें देखते हैं, इसके कारण आपके चित्र पर थूकने के लिए भी उनको इस प्रकार का डर लगता है। उसी प्रकार जब कोई भक्त जब किसी मूर्ति की पूजा करता है, मूर्ति की पूजा करता है, तब ये नहीं कहता हे पत्थर मैं तुझको ये फूल चढ़ाता हूं ले, नहीं, वो उसमें अपने इष्ट देवता को देखता है, उसकी इष्ट देवता को देख करके उसकी भक्ति करता है। तब अलवर के महाराजा ने चरण पकड़ लिए, स्वामी जी मुझे माफ कीजिए, आपने आज मुझको आपने मूर्ति पूजा का रहस्य बता दिया।
I think there are lots of questions, but due to time constraint, we cannot take all the questions right now. One more last question, if somebody is having, then I think Dr. T.K. Mandal sir is want to ask something.
I had two questions. Am I clear? I mean, can you hear me? Because I'm on mobile.
Yes. Yes.
The two questions. Number one is Ramakrishna Paramahansa was Swami Vivekananda's guru. Where are the teachings of Ramakrishna Paramahansa and Swami Vivekananda they converge? This is number one. And number two, what are the ways and means by which one can get associated with the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram and serve the society, not necessarily monetarily. It could be other ways as well, at individual level or at an organization level.
Very good question. Of Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission have got youth wing. We have youth study circle, and these youths are coming again from your university, from other university, from other schools and colleges. So this youth study circle can be strengthened, number one. Number two, in every educational institution, every university, every college, there can be a youth study circle in the name of Swami Vivekananda. You may or may not take the name, doesn't matter. In fact, we started during Swami Vivekananda 150th birth anniversary in various colleges, Vivekananda Center of Positive Thinking and Counseling, because we said the people are committing, all the youths are committing suicide. Why? Because they are full of negative thoughts. When positivity comes, negativity will go. Negativity will go, they will not commit suicide, they will not become depressed, they will not become schizophrenic, they will not go for drug addiction. So we started, so what is required is positive thinking. And positive thinking will come by reading the books of Swami Vivekananda and implementing them. So this Vivekananda Center of Positive Thinking and Counseling had got three dimensions. Number one, weekly youth study circle, reading the books of Swami Vivekananda and discussing over it and trying to understand it with some one felicitator, number one. Number two, this was some sort of service attitude. Now, youngsters will be not very much interested in the theoretical talks. He wants to do something. He has got that youth energy. So maybe tree plantation, maybe educating these poor and illiterate people and all that. There can be so many ways by which the youngsters can be drawn into the service of the society. And third dimension was the counseling, individual counseling as well as group counseling. So some sort of this activity could be started in your university also. You could take the help of our center in Indore. There are many monks there, and they can help you in establishing this center. And also they can be in touch with you. Sometimes they can come virtually, sometimes they can come actually also, no problem. And in fact, you can invite other Swamijis also. And second thing is that you can have small sort of library of containing not only books but audiovisual aids, because now is the aim when people go more for virtual. So there are various audiovisual aids available on Swami Vivekananda. There is a film on Swami Vivekananda, animated film available. Then Vivekananda by himself, on Vivekananda by Vivekananda. There's a feature film. That all these things also can be shown to the students, but more importantly, they have to be given some practical work. Maybe once a week, maybe during the vacation, they can do some sort of social work. So this is the way you can get, and you can have a sort of a some small outlet for the books, for the sort of a counter from which the books of Swami Vivekananda will be available. Or maybe not only Swami Vivekananda, all the books giving positive thoughts on self-development may be made available in a particular counter so that the students are motivated to read the books. So there are various ways in which you can be associated with our center in Indore, actually, because it is in Kailabad and it's Indore itself, and virtually through any center anywhere in the world. That is number one. And your another question was where the Ramakrishna's teachings and Swami Vivekananda teachings merge. In fact, Sri Ramakrishna teachings are available in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. That is a world famous book written by Mahendranath Gupta, M. In fact, it is his diary which has been published in the form of a book at the request of Swami Vivekananda. So these are the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna in a very simple manner. He was not highly educated, so-called highly, I mean, in the sense in which we say he did not go for university education, but he was very learned in his own way. And so much learned that most of the learned people like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Keshav Chandra Sen came to him for discussion and getting the advice. So Sri Ramakrishna's teachings are very simple, full of humor, full of stories which you get in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda took up the same message of the divinity, of the soul, where he said, Swami Vivekananda told it in a little modern way, in a different language, and without taking the name of Sri Ramakrishna, without taking the name of any particular being, he went on distributing that knowledge in the West. So when you go deep into the books, you will find there are two teachings mostly. Number one, manifesting the divinity within or God realization, and second, serving all the human beings irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality. It was in fact Sri Ramakrishna's message, Shiva Jnana Jeev Seva. This message, Shiva Jnana Jeev Seva, serving the God in human beings, that was the main message of Sri Ramakrishna, which was actualized by Swami Vivekananda in the form of starting Ramakrishna Mission. He did not only preach, but he made a demonstration model for others, that even if the monks, those who had nothing to do with the world, they are sacrificing their lives, they are living in the society, serving the society, then all those people, all the other people also should follow and serve the society, serve the underprivileged, serve the poor, serve the needy. So so both are Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda have done practically, it is a same message, but Swami Vivekananda was, so to say, a mouthpiece of Sri Ramakrishna. He gave to the modern world in the modern language, in the modern context. That's the only difference.
Swamiji, I would like to share here that in our university, we are teaching one course on human values. And that course is compulsory for all the students who are enrolled in the university, irrespective of the discipline. Whether a student is in engineering or management or computer science or science, social science, any discipline, it is compulsory for them to pass in this course.
That's great.
And
That's great.
all the books which are available in the Indore Center, Ramakrishna Mission Indore Center, we have procured all of them in our library. They are available in our library.
That's wonderful, wonderful. I'm so happy that you already, whatever I'm trying to say, you already done it. That's great.
I had the opportunity to visit Beirut a couple of times. Even I have visited Vivekananda Rock
Kanyakumari.
in Kanyakumari also. And Almoda also I'm planning to. In fact, I had gone to Almoda, but I missed to visit the place where he was staying during his visit to Almora.
Yeah.
And another thing that has remained that I will be doing during my next visit to Calcutta, that is to visit the house in which he was born.
Yeah.
Converted into a museum now.
Vivekananda ancestral place. That's beautiful.
Yes.
And you must also visit it is Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, Golpar. Institute of Culture, also worth seeing. And there is Vivekananda University just by the side of Belur Math. That also
Belur
is
Math.
visible.
Yeah, that time.
That's great.
Thank you.
So,
Dhanyavad.
any other question?
No, sir. No, Swamiji. I think we don't have any more question right now. So now I would like to
What I would
request.
suggest is that there is my website www.swaminikileshwaranand.com. There FAQ has been given for the students. Frequently asked questions, because I have gone to thousands of educational institutions and met lakhs of students. All those questions, the common questions, 100 questions, I have put in FAQ. They are available in my website, www.swaminikileshwaran.com. It has been given. And all my lectures are available in my channel. So I'm www.youtube/c/Nikileshwarananda. So that is also given. Both the links are given. So tell the students, they can go through it. After that, even after that, if they have some problem, no problem, they can write me, email to me, nikileshwarananda@gmail.com. nikileshwarananda@gmail.com. I would be very happy to answer the questions. I'm very happy. I am always for the students, because as I told you, Swami Vivekananda time and again told, youth. The younger generation, it is the younger generation who will work out my plans and programs. So we are working more with the youth. Value education can be given much more, with much more certainty to the youth, because they have not yet formed very rigid ideas. So they can take up the ideas, good positive ideas, and carry them forward. So at the end, I give my best wishes to all the students, and I pray to Swami Vivekananda, may he shower his blessing on all of us, and may we read his books, imbibe his teachings, and fulfill his dream. What was his dream? The India shall conquer the whole world by its spiritual culture. India will become so great that its past glory will fade into insignificance, and that can be done only by, if we develop our character. Let us dedicate ourselves to character building, and through character building, national building, through national building, to universal brotherhood. Thank you very much.